What's up, YouTube? Welcome into Attacking Third. McCall Zerboni, Jen Beattie. I'm your host, Darien Jenkins. We have a very fun show for you today. If you can't tell, we are talking the Barclays Women's Super League. And Jen, our resident Super League legend, how excited are you to talk about this today and this coming season? I'm
really excited. I feel like it's been such an exciting time for English football. The Lionesses won the Euros again. They did it 2022 and again in this summer, and it was just amazing to watch. And honestly, the hype off the back of that coming into this season, someone's got to beat Chelsea, man. That's what we're all ready to watch. But yeah, it kicks off Friday night, Chelsea versus Man City, and I can't wait for it.
Huge game. I love that that's the key mark game to kick the season off. McCall, how are you feeling about Man U? Do you think they can come out? I know you're a Man U girl.
A long time little girl Man United fan. I mean, I have them in my top 4 for sure. I can't let them down. Also, they just are always right there, and I think if they did the right things this offseason, they'll be competing for the spot for Champions League.
Yeah, they built a lot this last season, and they have our American goalkeeper, Fallon Tullis-Joyce, leading out of the back. But let's take a look at last season, because I want to know, Jen, what for you were some of the biggest takeaways? I mean, Chelsea won their 6th consecutive title. As you can see here at the top, Crystal Palace was relegated after being promoted. We had Hannah Hampton and Fallon Tullis-Joyce sharing the Golden Glove Award for 13 clean sheets each in the season. Also, a couple sharing an award, the Golden Boot between Khadija Bunny-Shaw and Alessia Russo. And then 3 teams qualified for Champions League: Arsenal, Man United, and Chelsea, of course. But I want to know, who do you think can actually knock Chelsea off of this streak that they're in, their 6th consecutive WSL title?
It's honestly so difficult. I think Chelsea, for me, they were so dominant, you know, to win all 3 domestic trophies, League Cup, FA Cup, and the WSL. It was only Sonia Bonpastor's first season in the league as well. And
that's what's been blowing my mind about it, is like right away, she's already winning all the trophies.
Yeah, and that just goes to show for me an experienced manager, brought in Lucy Bronze, Keira Walsh, Naomi Girma, which we'll talk about later on. But they were just incredible. But for me, you're talking about 2 Golden Boot winners, Shaw and Russo. Russo, for me, had one of her seasons of her life last year. She scored multiple goals. Wasn't quite the summer she would have hoped. We were talking about it for England, didn't get as many goals. But for me, Shaw picked up injuries as well and still managed to climb that board. And I can't wait to watch Man City this season. They had so many injuries.
Yeah.
Miedema, Hasagawa in the middle of the field, Alex Greenwood, Lauren Hemp, so many big players were out. I have no doubt that Man City will do a lot better this year if they keep everyone fit. But look, I think Tullis-Joyce as well, for me,
our girl.
Big gloves to fill, actually. I was almost going to say big boots, but it's big gloves. When Mary Earps made the big move, she had to step up, and she did. Look, to be joint Golden Glove winner with Hannah Hampton, another one who's stepped up this season. It's going to be a great season. I can't wait to watch. There's so many talking points.
I know. There's so many. And I have to say, Chelsea, the champions of the WSL, went invincible in the season. 16 wins, 3 draws. I mean, we've all played. We know how difficult it is to be able to show up every single day when you already have a target on your back from winning 5 consecutive championships before. I think, once again, they're the team to beat. And I really hope that specifically Man City can stay healthy enough to compete. But let's move on. Jen, you made a little tape. Oh, excuse me, I have that wrong. We're going to talk about Americans abroad. So we have some really big players that are overseas right now in the WSL. We're seeing a lot more movement now, but here's some of the big names that we wanted to pick out from these teams that we've been highlighting. Naomi Girma and Katarina Macario with Chelsea, Emily Fox, Jenna Neiswanger with Arsenal, and Fallon Tullis-Joyce, our resident goalkeeper with Manchester United. I want to start with Naomi Girma. Mind you, coming back from injury, she's over with Chelsea, she's getting integrated, and then boom, she's starting in Champions League last season with Millie Bray. How do you think she fit in with that team, just from the few minutes that we saw from last season?
I think she'll fit in, no doubt. For me, I was always a fan of Naomi Girma from the Wave and having watched the NWSL. So when I saw her come in to England and the WSL, I was like, okay, she's going to do awesome. And she just had the worst luck picking up a calf injury in her first game. But for me, it goes to show the level of quality that she has, that a manager's putting her straight back in.
Yeah.
And it was towards the end of the season. You said it yourself, Champions League, but I think that was important just to get integrated and set herself up for this season. But I can't wait to watch her.
I'm super thrilled. I mean, she's such a sophisticated player for her age, and the way she approaches her game, she's super professional. That's why I was really bummed for her as well, because I know that she did everything that she could to be her best pro going into that Champions League, and then she goes down right away. But if they can keep her healthy all season long, she is going to be a major key for them. You know, we'll see how Millie Bright comes back as well. You know, she's been kind of up and down, you know, with her love for football and the way she's approaching her game right now. So that could be a good question mark. And let's not forget, Sam Kerr is coming back.
Yo, we can't forget.
I'm sorry, but like Gurma, like I always think of the spine of a team, right? So you have Gurma in the back holding it down, and then, you know, you're serving balls up to Sam Kerr, and then that strong midfield with Chelsea. I see them. Yeah,
you've got Erin Cuthbert holding it down at the 6, which she's a demolisher to me. But I do think between Gurma and Millie Bright, they complement each other really well. And Chelsea just keeps on acquiring players somehow, all of these superstars, and they've made an incredible team. But let's move over to Arsenal. And McCall, your former teammate, Jenna Neiswanger, US Women's National Team member. We haven't seen much of her with Arsenal, and you have to look at who she's competing against. A Katie McCabe, a Steph Catley, now a Taylor Hines that they just acquired in the offseason. How does she fit in with this team? Do you expect her to get a lot of minutes this coming season?
Well, I feel for her a bit. Think about her last 3 years, right? She came from Florida State, one of the leading goal scorers in American college. Then she gets drafted by Gotham, and then all of a sudden converted to a left back, which was an adjustment for her. She did a great job. Won Rookie of the Year as a left back, but that's haywire in your brain. You're playing a brand new position at the highest level. She succeeded in that. Then she kind of had a sophomore slump, wasn't getting as much playing time, which is what led her to go to Arsenal. And then she goes to Arsenal, and then she has another slump again where she's not getting as much playing time as she can. And, you know, with that depth in the left back area, possibly they're looking at her in the midfield now, but then you look at the midfield, and it's going to be really difficult for her to break into that as well. She can also play left wing. She's very versatile, so I think they're looking at her as more of a depth player, unfortunately, because I know her, and she wants to be a starter. She wants to be a mainstay, but I think she's more of like a depth chart kind of player for Arsenal.
I think versatility is amazing when you're young, and she still is, don't get me wrong, but I think the longer your career, you have to pin down a position.
I agree.
And I think that's her next move. I know she can play through the centre, a wing back, left, and being left-footed, okay, that's strong side if a team doesn't have it, but you said it yourself, they've got Taylor Hines, Katie McCabe as well. For me, it's about pinning down a position, because versatility, amazing, can only take you so far.
And to be fair, maybe that's a blessing for her, because her weakness was her defending. She's wonderful on the ball. She likes to get forward. She can serve. She can pass. All the wonderful things that you want from a left back that gets forward into the attack. But defending was her weakness. And so maybe it's that time where she's being forced out with the depth with Catley, McCabe, Hines, where, hey, maybe that's not for you. Let's get you in the midfield or somewhere else.
Do you think it's crunch time where you can't just sit back and be a player that's just going to learn from the veterans on the team anymore? Do you think we need to make a move? You either need to establish yourself here or find another team?
I think the longer it goes, the one thing I will say, when you're a club like Arsenal, Chelsea, the top clubs, you're in 4 competitions.
Yeah.
So there will be a chance for minutes, and that's the one thing that Jenna can hold on to. And right, I'm going to get a chance. It's about when that does happen, has to take it and learn as much as you can. From what I've heard from her as well, she's always the one asking questions. How can I work? What can I work on? How can I get better? And that's something that managers love from any young player. So you just need to keep going and take her chance when it comes to her.
She wants to be the best, and she wants that level of attention. And so if it's not working out for her, maybe there's a loan in order as well. Maybe she'll ask to move back to America or to a different team, because, you know, she's not going to want to ride the bench for too long.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think with that depth that they have, although playing in many different tournaments, there's a lot of matches. She has to get minutes. You have to, especially with how this women's national team is looking, which is a great transition to who I think is the #1 goalkeeper with this new era of the women's national team, Fallon Tullis-Joyce. I mean, marine biologist. She's brilliant. She's beautiful on the ball. Her ability to play out of the back has grown a lot. And getting the Golden Glove last season and making the WSL Team of the Year, I think she's clearly established herself as #1. But a lot of people argue with me about that, especially with who we have here stateside. Do you think if she has another baller season with Man U, that's going to put her at the official #1 spot?
Well, I mean, for me, selfishly, I'm an American, so I'm thinking about what she's going to do for our nation, right? And I just want her to be comfortable and flying on all cylinders and be in form this fall when she comes back to have some competitions with the U.S. Women's National Team. And, I want her to perform well in the WSL. But it's healthy when two players are going at it. When there's two number ones in the goalkeeping position, that's oftentimes what helps them elevate their game. So we'll see if she rises to the occasion.
Yeah, you agree with that, Jen, with how she's been able to play at United, especially with some of the players that they've brought in around her?
Yeah, I think so. I think, look, I said it earlier, she had big gloves to fill. When Mary Earps moved, that was her chance to get minutes and play week in, week out. And it's not even, she would have had way more work than Hannah Hampton to earn that Golden Glove spot. So she would have had made big saves. But I think I, for one, with a big eye on the WSL, was always like, she needs a chance with the US national team. Why is she not getting it? And then she finally did, and I thought it was thoroughly deserved. And why not? I tend to agree with you. I think she deserves it. She should be up there, absolutely.
Come on, McCall, you're a United girl.
I am.
I see it happening. I see it happening.
I mean, she's going to be a huge reason why they make top 3, in my opinion.
Ooh, I love this. Okay, I love that we got a little prediction from you because we're going to be talking about Jen's predictions for the 2025-2026 season. And we're going to start with the bottom quarter of the table of, sadly, who you have getting relegated. Yeah. And this season, due to expansion, we have 2 teams getting relegated in the WSL. And you chose West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur. You want all the smoke online.
I don't know if it was the ex-Arsenal in me that put Spurs at the bottom. But no, for me, look, Tottenham actually just missed relegation last year. They came 11th, and it was an underwhelming season. And I was kind of waiting to see what big signings they would pick up and what moves they would make over summer. Signed some defenders, but for me, I'm really a little bit worried for them. And same goes for West Ham. I think Rhiannon Skinner is the manager. She worked a lot on defensive strategy, but they just lacked goals and that bit of class and flair up top. And again, in this league, you have to be doing that against the teams higher up. So for me, they're the 2 teams I'm a little bit worried about this year.
No, I completely agree. I think Tottenham were very underwhelming with the players that they did have on their team. They didn't put away their chances when they were placed in front of them. That would also probably be my team that I would be looking to relegate. But next we have, you put Liverpool at 10. You really do want the smoke today. Liverpool at 10, Leicester City at 9, Aston Villa 8, 7, Everton. Ooh. I like the move for Everton, getting a little higher.
So I'll start with Liverpool. If I'm in the dressing room at Liverpool and I've just lost my captain, Taylor Hines, and Olivia Smith, arguably your best player, I'm thinking, what's our plan? What's our strategy? And again, haven't really recruited to replace, so main worry. Leicester just lost their manager 10 or 11 days prior to the opening game, linked with Matt Beard, a great experienced manager that could come in. We'll see if that happens. But for me, that's a worry. Your players are thinking. And then Everton and Aston Villa, look, again, I'm like,
2 of kind of the same.
What's your strategy? What's your long-term goals? Everton have made some big signings, though, 3 Japanese internationals, so I'm actually excited to watch them play because they could climb this year. Yeah,
they had moments of really, really good quality football last year, and I think with those additions, they could be great. Okay, let's move to the upper half of the table, which I'm really excited about because, Jen, you have the London City Lionesses at number 6, and I really want to key in on them because Michelle Moneybag King, we love you, girl. Come on, keep investing. They signed the likes of Katie Zellum, Daniel Van de Donk, Kumagai, Elena Lanari. Aslani. We could name literally their whole roster of how much Jakobsen, how many players they have signed, and you think that's going to push them up to 6?
I do. Look, I think 6 is very strong. Don't get me wrong, but I think I had the same reaction as everyone. Right? I'm thinking every day it was like this new.
Yeah, who else she going to sign?
Yeah, and for me, the biggest thing it was experience. It wasn't youth that hadn't established themselves, and for me, I love seeing that in a team, and I think it'll take time for them to gel. We'll see what happens, but I think everyone can't wait to watch this team play because they're independently owned, as you said, from Michelle Kang, and I think they've just taken this league by storm. Everyone's talking about them back home. Yeah, I can't wait to watch them play. So much experience. It'll just see how long it takes to get them to gel.
McCall, do you think it'll take a long time? I mean, they signed veterans, all established players from their respective club, megastar super clubs. Do you think that's going to take long?
I love it, but it has me wondering, is that more of a Jocelyn head coach decision or Michelle Kang decision? He was at PSG for 2023, 2024. He has a lot of experience. He's been obviously watching around the globe and saw which players he wanted to choose. But sometimes when you have established veterans, they're a little bit less malleable and it's harder to get them on the same page and it may take
You get a little stubborn, McCall?
A little stubborn. You have your ways on things, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not doing that.
We know better.
We'll see how quickly they can gel. Yeah.
Oh, well, I love this. Man U 5 and then Brighton and then top 3. We could have guessed. Jen, let's start with number 3. Who did you have here? Oh, very predictable. I think you have Chelsea at number 1.
I do.
Yep.
I had Arsenal at 3 because, look, I want to be really honest.
Yeah.
Manchester City had so many injuries last season. We spoke about it earlier, but such big names. Lauren Hemp, Shaw we saw. Medema had a lot of little niggles, would come back, play world-class football. Hasagawa was out. Alex Greenwood.
For big amounts of time throughout the season as well.
Big amounts of time. If they keep everyone fit, they will be the team to compete with Chelsea. I genuinely do think that. And of course, Arsenal, look, you've just won the European Champions League. What can you do this season? They will be hunting a domestic trophy in some capacity.
Yeah.
Of course, they'll go for the league. But for me, Chelsea are still the team to beat. They were incredible last year. Baltimore, Lucy Bronze, big players that just took the league by storm again.
Why do you think Arsenal struggles on the domestic stage? I mean, they won a Champions League, defeating all the odds. They had a big doubter in myself, I'll just be honest. I didn't think that they would go that far, but they showed out. Why do you think they struggle here?
I think I'll use, look, FA Cup is a perfect example. They lost 1-0 to Liverpool, and I'm looking at, watching the game. They played at Boreham Wood at home. Pitch wasn't great, and they're still trying to play out, and that's how they concede their goals, and they're just... can be more adaptable, and that's when I look at Chelsea on the flip side. They don't perform the best football. They don't play the best football, but they were relentless in winning. Their winning mentality was second to none, and I think that's the little bit of a difference. But Arsenal need to go. We're going one step further. We've beaten Barcelona, the team that everyone loves to watch, everyone loves to talk about. We need to go further. So I'm still putting them in 3rd, but look, I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
McCall, do you have any gripes with this list?
No, I'm just thinking when Chelsea came last summer and spanked us Gotham by 3 goals. Like, they're just winners and they find a way.
Yeah, that was tough. I was on the call for that game, and it was a preseason game as well. Sorry.
Can I get a little Brighton mention in?
Go on.
If you enjoyed watching Michelle Adjaman at the Euros for Lionesses, she's still on loan at Brighton. Watch them. Watch her. She is awesome.
I love that shout. She's incredible. Love all the flowers that she's getting, especially after the Euros, and love that we get to see her with Brighton. Well, that was our show. Let us know what you think of Jen's list. Did we miss anything? Are there any snubs? Especially the promotion relegation. We want to know your thoughts. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell all of your friends about Attacking Third. From McCall, Jen, and myself, Darien, this was Attacking Third.